Hey, everybody. The ROG here, the real estate old guy sharing new ideas and experiences. Craig Lerch, disrupting real estate and delivering empowering experiences. I am so excited today. Not a little excited. I'm to the point that I want to run around this room. This is my brand new empowering experience space. First time coming here. We have our flat screens in the back. We're missing some furniture here, but we have an awesome lady who has been working with me. You've probably seen some of my TikToks going out and then carrying into Instagram. And I'm appreciating you all. Follow me and sharing comments and sharing to their friends. I'd say back in, I think it was February, I had an opportunity to meet this lady, Liz Brown. She is off the charts, awesome realtor in Richmond, Virginia. Off the charts, awesome mom, because I've talked to her about her kids. I've met her husband. She has an awesome 8-year-old who has added wood to her fire that says, I want a Palomino horse. That's my favorite. So now all of a sudden she's figuring out how I'm going to pay for a Palomino horse. And it is TikTok because of creating sales through TikToks. She actually helped create the ROG on TikTok because I didn't know what to do. And we all have those things that hold us back. So as we go through this, we're going to share how you can connect to Liz. She's got a course. She's got a challenge. I did it. I'm still in it. And it's fun. Liz, welcome. How are you, my friend?
So good. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, my God. I got to tell you, the first time I met you was in Cabo. Now, listen, everybody. There's 1,200 people in this place. This lady comes up, and there's 4 people on a panel. She just doesn't stand out. She takes over. She starts, it's like all of a sudden everybody else is sitting and she's standing and walking.
I didn't mean to. I actually had the thought in my head, Liz, you should probably sit down. And I was like, I don't sit. I was like, oh, geez.
You don't sit. You're always funny. You're always on. So first of all, how long have you been doing real estate?
8 years.
Too long.
Yeah, probably, but no, 8 years.
8 years doing that.
Yep.
All right. And you've built your own team. You coach teams around the country. You have a community of agents through, EXP and stuff that you have around the country. But then all of a sudden you decided to pick up TikTok. Where did that come from in your world?
I was working on Instagram and Instagram is really crowded. Right? Facebook, Instagram, it's just too crowded. And so I wasn't getting the traction that I wanted. And so there are a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot, but there's a few, especially women in EXP that I'm associated with that were really doing a great job on Instagram. And so I was learning from them and learning how to do the social media stuff. And then during COVID, when, the world was different, we had some time to, try different things. And so I would listen to Gary Vee in the morning. And he would be like, are you on LinkedIn and are you on TikTok? And I was on neither. And so I gravitated towards TikTok because it's fun, right? The people that are on there are entrepreneurs, forward thinkers. It's fun. Like you could spend all day watching TikTok, like easy peasy all day watching TikTok. That's what TikTok goes the clock, right? So it was an easy, entertaining, fun place to be when the world really wasn't very fun. So I decided that I didn't immediately think it was going to be anything, right? Gary Vee said go, and I was like, oh, might as well. He knows things about the world. So I just started making like workout videos in my garage. I did not start with real estate videos at all. Like you could, from June till probably October, November, I was just making one video a day in my garage, working out, learning how to push the buttons, right? Like learning how to getting better at editing the videos, learning how to talk. I was already talking on Instagram in my stories, but reels weren't even a thing. And so I was good at taking the perfect photo. And I was sort of good at writing a nice little post, but they really were boring for me. So I wanted something else. So TikTok created this space where I could be me and just speak my mind and not have to feel so contrived. Like I feel like Instagram is just like I use it as like a billboard, right? This is the pretty edited version of me. And TikTok is the real, maybe not so edited version of me. And it depends on who you want and who you are and who I attract on both platforms. So I remember clearly sitting in a Food Lion parking lot, the Food Kitty. And I thought to myself, I wonder if I can make a real estate video. And I was like, why don't you try it? Okay. So I just made like three things you should have known, or three things to know before you start, a real estate career or whatever. And the video was like, and I was like, oh, this could be great. So from then on, I just started making real estate videos because you know this, your head is full of real estate knowledge, full of it. Like anyone, you could look at your text message and make 20 TikToks based on what is actually happening in your real estate business today that would be helpful for people, right? Like, what about if this happens? And what about this happens? And what about if this happens? So it just became a place for me to answer people's questions before they asked me personally. So when they got to me as clients, they didn't have to ask me those questions. They already trusted me and knew me and liked me. And it completely has changed my business.
I mean, and you in a short amount of time, you went from, you're like 40,000 followers or something like that, and some crazy number of likes. And every day, I mean, everybody, I'm on a call at 8:45 to 9 o'clock with a group of people where Liz is the moderator, and we all fire through what our goals are and what our visions are and what we're doing on it. But as you go through that, you're like, how do you fit it in? And it's really life, and it's sharing the ideas that are up here. And that's what you've taught me a lot. But it's also not just real estate life, it's who you are, because it makes you, you've talked a lot. Tell us about the humilities and the vulnerability and being you, because you can't work with everybody.
No, it has really taught me about speaking to who you want to work with and learning what makes you happy in real estate, right? Like everyone, when they get into real estate, they think they want to work with everyone. I'll take whatever, right? Well, will you? I mean, this year, especially since I've gotten more leads from TikTok, and the leads that you get that are attracted to you versus a lead that you get a cold lead, like a Zillow lead or a realtor.com lead, they're so completely different that I have a hard time working with a cold lead because they don't trust you. They don't like you. They don't even value what you know, because they don't know you. It's not their fault. And so it takes a little bit longer to warm up to that. As far as like speaking to the vulnerability portion of it, I'm still a very private person. I had someone ask me on a call. I was doing a TikTok training on, I think it was Tuesday. And they asked me who the real Liz was. And I was like, why would you ask me that question? That's a weird question, right? Like, he's like, well, are you the crazy one who does the crazy videos? Because I showed them a couple examples, and the examples were all very different, right? Some were a trend. Some was like a serious, this is what you do in this situation. The other one was, I don't know, like I've made so many videos that there's like a spectrum of Liz, right? Mm-hmm. And just like you, there's a spectrum of you, and there's a time and a place to be serious, and a time and a place to be professional, and a time and a place to be funny. And, it shows all of you. And so when he asked me that question, I thought, is this the real you? Like, are you this person in this world? Right. And so it was just so interesting to see, since you are making so much content, that the world really does get to know you. And if you do let yourself be you, like some days I don't feel like making TikTok. I don't feel like doing it. Like today's TikToks are more like, this is how you do the TikTok, because I don't really have much to say today, right? Like maybe nothing has happened that I think needs to be a TikTok, but I know that I'm teaching people how to do TikTok, so I could do that for them today, right? Mm-hmm. So I just think it's interesting that people who are not used to this format or not used to showing up on camera, they're used to being able to, I guess, show up perfectly. Maybe that's what
I think it's the reality show. They all don't understand that the reality shows are not live. They're taped and they're edited, and they redo them. Like this is live. So a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to do live because there's hiccups. You start a little late, whatever it may be. But at the same time, you and I have talked about that inner brain in us. Mm-hmm. Like, why would I start? People have said to me, why would I start TikTok at 57 years old, 33 years in the business, and da-da-da-da-da. And I wasn't even thinking about it. I ran into you in Cabo at our meeting, and like immediately I beeline to you. I said, you got to show me. I'm excited to whatever it is. And you know why? Because we're so busy talking that person in our head. You and I have had that conversation. And you got to share that little bit of a story about who your inner self is. That when you're having those things, you're like, oh, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. So her name is Cheryl, and some days she's really loud in my head, and other days she doesn't exist. It's a funny thing. The more that I like get to know her and like almost befriend her, it's easier to deal with it. But Cheryl has a lot to say to me, and she really wants to keep me safe. She wants to keep me safe, which means she doesn't want me to make quick decisions. She doesn't want me to say what I'm thinking. She wants me to think first. She always wants me to, shouldn't you think about this? Shouldn't you take some time? Like even this morning, a stupid example is like ordering an iPhone, right? Like the old Liz would have taken 3 days to do this. It's an iPhone. Who cares? Just order it. Move on with your life. Like, let's go, right? That's like real Liz. But Cheryl wants to be like, what about if you don't pick the right color and you haven't even touched it yet? And what about, right? Like she just like freaked out. I'm like, Cheryl, we do not today. We do not, because I have other things that are really important to do today. Like, and even when you're making a video, the important part about Cheryl is that whoever your voice is, I mean, what's the name of yours, Craig?
And again, I've learned it and I made it. Mine's Doubting Doug. And Doubting Doug. I'm like, Doug, really? Just stop. Just go over there. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, stop. But we all have it. And you really learn it. Once you name it, you understand it. Loud noises are things we're scared, we're afraid of, things like that. Everything else we've kind of learned. This is just a fear that people have put on us. We shouldn't be on camera. Guess what, everybody? If you're not on camera, if you're not doing that about your profession, or you're looking to build your business and you're not on it, print doesn't do it anymore. This is doing it. Yep. Real life is doing it. People are watching reality shows. So mine's Doubting Doug, and you're Cheryl. That really teaches you. We're not crazy. Mm-mm. This is taught at high levels in corporate worlds that we both understood this and brought it in. Yep. Everybody should understand it, including our kids, because our kids have doubts. You know, okay, is that you talking, or is that the person in your head talking that you can't do it?
Almost to the point where now when I interact with people who know about Cheryl, and I also got it from Tony Robbins, right? He helps us, and I'm a Tony Robbins junkie, but he initially taught me about it, but now it's to the place where when I talk to one of my friends who really knows me, they'll say things like, is that real? Did you make that story up? Like, I had a girlfriend who went to Tony Robbins with me last year. She said to me, is that what is true right now? Is that true what you're thinking? And I had to think like, is that true? Or am I making this up? And I would say 9 times out of 10, it's just a story. It's just a story in your mind, right? Of how it's going to be if I do this, or what will happen if I do this, or it'll hurt someone's feelings, or it'll hurt my feelings, or whatever it is. It's just a silly story. And especially when it comes to, like, again, back to TikTok. Why does it matter? Because if you let the voice in your head, you will never pick this up. You will never pick it up. You will never hold it in your face. You will never be who you could be, because you stay small. You stay boring. You stay vanilla. You stay small. The videos that do the best are when I'm in a hurry and I just make the video, right? I don't think, I don't start it over again. I don't edit it very well. I don't do any of the things that Cheryl wants me to do. This is a great idea. Let me make a TikTok. Boom. And then I go on with my day. Those are the best TikToks. Those are the best ideas.
And again, you've taught me that no matter where you're at, just do it, get it done, and think about it. Okay, everybody, we're going to share Liz's information. If you want to enter the challenge, I think she should be charging more, but it is very inexpensive, but it's life-changing and stuff. Her information is down below, but she sells real estate for a living too. She coaches real estate agents. So it's not like she's just a TikTok queen. She's running and doing everything else. So to say that you don't have time, again, it's that inner thing in your head. You know what? You and I have had the conversation. Remember the movie Blind Side, and we've talked about this. I mean, some of the big leaders. Frank Goes loves talking. We were on a call the other day with him. He goes, you got to watch Blind Side. Got to watch Blind Side. There's SJ, and then there's the coach, and then there's Sandra Bullock, who picks up the cell phone and calls the head coach and says, "Bert, run the dang ball." It's that simple. push the button. I mean, you were doing it the other day. It's not that hard. And we were, I think I might do a TikTok today. Push the button. It's fun, That's it. Just push it. It doesn't do anything. It's not going to hurt you. It's that inner voice. So
I also think that since we are conditioned to like do it once a day, right? What just do it once a day. That's over too. And so then your voice is going to say, but I don't have time to do it more than once a day, which is a lie because the videos are 7 seconds or they're 30 seconds or they're a minute. They're very short. There's plenty of time.
It's making the time. And you've done a lot of analytics on how many, if you really want to see your stuff ramp, first of all, start. Second of all, go from 1 to 2 and then build. But the optimum number that you work at, and a lot of the really good gurus that know what they're doing is what number?
4.
4.
Lots of people 7 to 10 if you really want to build your account really fast. 7 to 10 a day. You're like, that is insane. Is it? If I wasn't selling real estate, I would have someone follow me around all day and make TikToks because I have a gift of TikTok ideas. Like so many TikTok ideas in this brain. I don't know where it comes from. It's like, well, that's a lie. I'm wildly creative. I figured that out. Right? So
not just wildly creative.
Tony Robbins, I decided I was wildly creative. Okay, fine, I'm wildly creative. No, I believe it, right? You have time to do the things that are important to you. The end. This is important to me, right? I know that this one thing has changed my entire life in the last year. I know that sounds like, how could TikTok change your entire life? The people I've met, the opportunities to speak on stage, the opportunities to grow my business. I'm growing my EXP team, and I would say 90% of them have come from TikTok. They're my people, right? The people who are interested in social media, they're my people. Like, I like to say I'll accept anyone, I will, but the people that are interested in doing what I'm doing are the people that are attracted to me because of what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So do I still use Instagram and Facebook? Yes, right? I have a VA who takes my TikTok videos and puts them other places now. That's life-changing. Yeah. So I definitely
we're on Facebook now, but you were saying like there's different things to learning and cleaning it up that one side doesn't like the other side and whatever it may be. But again, you can take them and post them in stories and different things. The point is, don't live in judgment. No. And the only way to grow is to do it. Don't be fearful. And again, it attracts people to you. People want to work with people like themselves. So if they're seeing you and they want to work with you for real estate or they trust you, you've sent a ton of referrals out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another thing with social media that I know so many. I used to just sell real estate right here in Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, Virginia is teeny tiny. Like it is small. And so you can only grow your business so much in where you are. So think about taking your business and covering the world with it, right? That is your reach with social media. I also like to think of it as instead of making, 100 cold calls a day, I make 4 TikTok videos and they are seen by thousands of people. Compared to maybe, I don't know how many people pick up the phone, maybe 10, maybe if you're lucky, maybe you make 1 appointment, right? Like think of the numbers of people that are seeing my face every day versus the number of phone calls. I think of making TikToks as lead generation. And it's a shift you need to make in your brain. And it's not for everybody, Craig. It's not. Do I still make my phone calls of the other leads that I'm getting? Yeah. Do I do it as much? No. It's just my business is different.
If somebody wanted to, in a real top 3 things that if somebody wanted to start doing better in their whatever social media it would be, what are the top 3 ideas you would give?
I would show up every day on video, speaking. I know it's horrifying. Speaking using your voice, because when you start speaking and using your voice, even if you're not comfortable with it, it sets the precedence that you are the expert. Right? So show up every day using your voice, right? If that's scary, maybe you show up every day starting with a voiceover. That's okay too, right? That's like a way to ease into it, which is fine, but definitely video, 100% video every day, right? Then I would say speak. And then I would add some creativity, like add a little fun to it, add a little excitement to it. As real estate agents, we have been conditioned to be plain, to not have opinions, to be able to work with everyone, right? Because, rules, regulations, fair housing, all the stuff, right? So can you still be something other than vanilla on social media? Yeah, you can. And still be okay? Yeah, you can. You could still be you. So I guess that would be the third thing, is learn how to be you. And sometimes it takes people some time because they've forgotten who they even are. So
That's key. That's a pearl. Most of us don't know who we are, or they're actually afraid. We're actually afraid of who we are because of everybody else's opinion. By the way, nobody else's opinion counts. You're the only you. Nobody else can be you. Nobody can try to be you. They can emulate you. They can copy, like people want to be stars. They want to be a Kardashian. They want to be this. Guess what? You are still going to be you. We all have our own look. We have our own raspy. Well, I have my own raspy voice. I don't think I sound raspy, but everybody says I sound raspy.
It's who you are.
But, it's your uniqueness. Have fun with it. Really, really have fun with it. I always ask this question in talking with people. What was the key point or the humility point that you said, you know what, enough is enough, and I'm going for my big purpose. I'm going for my aha. And is it, I know you spent a ton of time with your younger daughter. I know, what is that? Bam, I'm getting up in the morning, and if I don't do it, it affects this number one thing. What was that?
I think it has to do with my daughter, but I think it also has to do with probably my husband and my marriage and the life that we're creating, right? So he's retired military and he's kind of beat up, right? He was a Green Beret, and he has some really hard miles on him, right? So there's been a lot of times in life where he has to have a surgery, or like he had neck surgery this like Christmas. It's always at a bad time, Craig. Like it's always like, oh, it's Christmas Eve, let's go have neck surgery. It's like, really? Like, come on, like, let's not do this. Oh, we're doing it, great. So there's been a lot of times where the story in my mind is that I have to be able to take care of all my people, right? I have to be able to do it. Even though he is great. Like, even if he's not working, we're great, right? Like, because he has, retirement and all the things, right? So that's a story in my mind, but that story is what pushes me from behind, right? Because what about if something did happen? What about, right? Again, Cheryl over here being like crazy. It's a little of that, right? It's a little bit of, I want my daughter to see what you can be if you are you in this world. There's a little bit of that sprinkled in it. So it's almost like a Sunday of like reasons why I get out of bed. Then there's the people that are on my Elevate organization that I've attracted, right? Through TikTok, through social media, that if I'm not doing the things, how are they going to do the things? What I'm asking them to do is not an easy thing, right? Selling real estate is not easy. It is not an easy job. You've done it a very long time, and I've done it, longer than other things that I've done, but it's never easy. We're selling things. At least we can touch the thing we're selling, but we're selling something that is big, and there's no handbook to do it. There's no necessarily like a school to do it. So what I'm creating for these people that I'm getting up every day to help them with is almost like a handbook. Like, here's how you sell real estate. Here's how you TikTok. And if I don't show them the way, what happens to their families, right? They're counting on me at this point to help them pay their bills and feed their children, right? You don't just, when you become a leader, it's different. It's different because what happens if Amelia doesn't know how to write a contract and she feels lost in this world? Well, she doesn't have to feel lost in the world. She can call me now, right? But I have to be there for her. What about if today I decide I'm going to the pool and I'm not going to do anything? And Amelia needs me, right? Okay. So I guess there's like layers of reasons of why I do it all.
No, I think the ones that I've heard from you and from talking with you and having the chances, you really want to, where mine comes in is change lives. You want to help people change their lives and be their best in it. You know what? That's the big thing is you're giving all your all to them. And that's something that we all don't do enough of is help rise it up people. There's the crabs, and I always talk about it, that want to pull down, because all it does is raise everybody else's bar. You know, because if you're rising up, everybody else has got to come with you, or you're going to leave them behind. And we've talked about that. Toxicities, you got to leave behind. Some people you got to leave behind. There are people that have been divorced, you got to get. You know, I'm not getting divorced. Mrs. Lerch is awesome. She's still kept me around. And Liz, you've met her. So I still live with, I think she keeps the yet word behind me. You're not going yet. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
it's all good. She's my queen. But tell us real quick. If somebody wants to get in and take, when's your next challenge start? You have a challenge?
It's June. Goodness gracious, when is it?
And it's fun, everybody. It's not a ton of a commitment. It's fun, and it's there.
What it is this one. I'm going to start tweaking it. So if you want the full 5-day challenge, you have to come to this one, because after that, I'm going to make something different. It's after EXPCon. It's the 27th, so it's the end of the month. And it's a free 5-day challenge. Now there's the VIP, which is a charged portion of it, where you get individual coaching, where I go over your profile and I help you set up things, and you can ask me individual edit questions. Like, it's nitty gritty, like how to, and it's after the initial call. The initial call is going to get you from not making TikToks to making TikToks. And so I give you homework, I give you a buddy, I give you a system in order to, if you want to just get started, this is how you do it, right? But if you're already started and you want to take it to the next level, well, this is how you do it, right? I have an online course. I'm creating a mini course. We have the accountability calls right now. I'm going to do some private coaching coming up. Like, I'm tweaking things so it can help more people in a better way. So there's all kinds of ways, but the 5-day challenge is kind of like the entry.
Everybody, take it. It's free. It's a couple hours. It's 5 days. Commit to it. It's a great way to grow and go from there. I can't thank this lady enough. One, for being in my life and meeting her physically, and I look forward to seeing you in the next couple of weeks. And two, is teaching me these things and also changing lives of other people around me. Because we're taking this and instilling it now in our group, the agents that we're working with. And then we're also instilling accountability calls. Like, you and I are on from 8:45 to 9. And I think there's anywhere between 6 to 12 at a time that can be on there. I'm putting that in from 8:30 to 8:45 with my team now, Monday through Friday. Guys, it starts and it ends. We're all going to rattle, and everybody's going to talk real quick and get to the point, but it's a quick Zoom. The point is like you said, it's that commitment to showing up every day. And that's what the TikTok does. It also teaches you the other routines.
Awesome.
So you've been awesome. Is there anything you want to say in the goodbye to everybody before I sign off? Send referrals, Richmond, Virginia. There you go.
That, always that. And Charlottesville. I think
Charlottesville, sorry.
It's both. Either way, I live right in the middle. I think that anyone can do it, right? If you're not comfortable with TikTok, do reels on Facebook. If you're not comfortable with Facebook, do reels on Instagram. But wherever you're comfortable in this world, show up with video. And it starts with 1 video, and then 2, and then 3. And it starts to grow, right? But it never starts if you don't.
And have some fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it is fun.
Hey, everybody, I just want to thank you all for coming out and seeing us today, sharing the time here with Liz, because I know she's got a bunch of calls later on. And I appreciate you taking the time to do this with us today. And again, you have her contact information. Reach out to her for the challenges. You always know how to get to me. My information is down below. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. You know, the real estate old guy, you know, sharing new ideas, the ROG. Let's have some fun and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, Liz.
I'll see you there in Florida.
Go get it.